Neighbor, welcome back to our little garden. I know a lot of people don't enjoy waiting months just to taste the vegetables they grow. And honestly, I'm not that patient either. That's why, after years of gardening, testing, failing, learning, and trying again, I've put together a list of the 8 fastest vegetables you can grow. These are the crops that go from seed to harvest in just a few days to under 1 month. They're perfect for busy gardeners, perfect for beginners, and perfect for anyone who wants quick results to keep the excitement alive. From tiny sprouts that pop up almost overnight to tender baby greens that fill your bowl in just a couple of weeks, these 8 choices will give you that satisfying first win every gardener remembers. So, if you're ready for a super fast harvest, you can enjoy this very month. Let's get started, neighbor. Before we jump into the list of 8 fast-growing veggies, let me share something simple. Most new gardeners don't want to wait months for a harvest. And honestly, I was the same. Watching a plant sit there for weeks with nothing to pick can really drain your excitement. That's why quick-growing crops are such a game-changer. They give you early results, keep you motivated, and help you feel that first win that every gardener needs. In just days, or a few short weeks, you can already be harvesting something fresh, green, and homegrown. And the best part? These veggies grow beautifully even in tiny spaces. A balcony, a sunny window, or a small corner of your backyard. So in the next section, we'll dive into the 8 fastest vegetables I've ever grown. The ones that deliver quick, satisfying harvests, almost before you know it. All right then, neighbor. Let's start with the speed champion of the garden. Neighbor, next on our list are pea shoots, one of the most refreshing, crunchy, and surprisingly fast crops you can grow. If you've ever tasted fresh peas straight out of the pod, imagine that same sweet flavor. But in a tender green shoot, you can harvest in just 10 to 14 days. What makes pea shoots so special is how effortless they are. You barely need soil, just a shallow tray or pot is enough. You don't even have to soak the seeds if you don't want to, although soaking them for a few hours does help them sprout a little quicker. Once planted, they come up fast, really fast. Within a few days, you'll see thick, sturdy stems pushing upward, and soon after, delicate curling tendrils begin reaching for the light. The best part? You can harvest them young, right when they're about 4 to 6 inches tall. Still tender, still sweet, still bursting with that fresh garden flavor. Just grab a handful, snip them off, toss them into a salad, sauté them with a little garlic, or eat them raw straight from the tray. Pea shoots are incredibly versatile. What I personally love is how forgiving they are. Even if you're a new gardener, even if you forget a watering or two, pea shoots still bounce back. They don't need deep sunlight, they don't demand fertilizer, and they rarely run into pest problems because you harvest them so quickly. If microgreens give you your first fast win, pea shoots give you your first delicious one. All right then, neighbor. Let's head to the next crop on our list. It's just as quick, but it brings a completely different texture and a richer, nuttier flavor. The next fast-growing crop on our list is one of my personal favorites: sunflower shoots. If you've never grown them before, you're in for a surprise, because these little greens taste completely different from microgreens or pea shoots. They're rich, nutty, crunchy, almost like a sunflower seed turned into a fresh green vegetable. What makes sunflower shoots special is their incredible texture. They're thick, juicy, and satisfying, the kind of green you can snack on straight from the tray. And despite being a larger seed, they still grow fast. In just 12 to 15 days, you can have a full tray of shoots ready to harvest. Now, because the seeds are bigger, they need a little more attention than pea shoots. I recommend soaking them for 6 to 8 hours before planting. It helps them swell up and sprout evenly. Once soaked, spread them over a shallow tray filled with moist soil. Press them gently into the surface. Cover with a thin layer of soil or another tray, and let them sit in the dark for 2 to 3 days. Those thick, sturdy stems begin pushing upward, lifting the cover like a weightlifter raising a barbell. Within a few more days, they open their vibrant green leaves and reach for the light. When they're about 3 to 5 inches tall, they're ready. Just snip them off, rinse, and enjoy. Toss them into salads, add them to sandwiches, or eat them by the handful. Sunflower shoots are incredibly flavorful. One tip: because they grow quickly in dense trays, keep an eye out for mold. Good airflow and proper watering, not too heavy, will help you avoid any issues. If you want a fast crop that feels rich and hearty, sunflower shoots are one of the best you can grow. All right, neighbor, let's move on to the next vegetable. A tender, leafy green that fills bowls in just a couple of weeks. The next fast-growing crop on our list is baby lettuce mix, one of the most rewarding greens you can grow in a small space. Unlike a full head of lettuce that takes 6 to 8 weeks, baby lettuce can give you a fresh bowl of tender greens in as little as 14 to 21 days. What makes baby lettuce so special is its texture. When harvested young, the leaves are soft, crisp, and full of delicate flavor. Nothing like the tougher, thicker leaves you find on mature plants. And because you're harvesting early, you can plant them much more densely. A shallow tray or pot, a handful of seeds, and good sunlight are all you need. Within just a few days, you'll see a green carpet forming. By the second week, the leaves start to widen and stand upright. And by week 3, you will have enough to fill an entire salad bowl. Simply cut the leaves about an inch above the soil and let the plants regrow. You'll often get a second harvest from the same tray. Baby lettuce is perfect for small gardens, balconies, and windowsills. It's fast, dependable, forgiving, and ideal for anyone who wants a consistent supply of fresh greens without waiting too long. Now, let's talk about one of the true speed champions of the vegetable world. Radishes. These crunchy little roots can go from seed to harvest in just 25 to 30 days, making them one of the fastest full-size vegetables you can grow. What I love about radishes is how satisfying they are. You sow the seeds, and within just 3 to 5 days, little green leaves pop out of the soil. By week 2, the stems begin to thicken, and by the end of week 3 or 4, those familiar round bulbs start forming just beneath the surface. Radishes come in many colors: red, pink, purple, white, and each variety has its own blend of peppery, crisp flavor. They're perfect for salads, pickles, or simply eating fresh with a little salt. For the fastest results, choose classic varieties like Cherry Belle or French Breakfast. And remember, radishes grow best in loose soil, consistent moisture, and plenty of sunlight. Harvest them on time. Wait too long, and they may turn tough or woody. Fast, crunchy, colorful. Radishes are a beginner's best friend. All right then, neighbor. Let's head into a slightly different category. Leafy greens grown from root vegetables. Most people wait for the roots to fatten underground, but the truth is, the leaves grow much faster and are ready to harvest in just 20 to 28 days. When these plants sprout, their leaves are soft, bright, and full of flavor. Beet greens have a mild, earthy sweetness, while turnip greens carry a gentle, peppery bite. You don't need to pull the whole plant. Simply pick the outer leaves once they reach 4 to 6 inches long. New ones will grow back, giving you steady harvests, week after week. Meanwhile, Beneath the soil, the roots continue developing at their own slow pace. If you choose to let them mature, baby beets take around 40–50 days, full-size beets need 55 to 70 days, while baby turnips are ready in 30–40 days, and mature turnips in 45–60 days. That means one planting can give you 2 harvests: fast, tender greens above the soil, and later, hearty roots below. It's efficient, productive, and perfect for gardeners who want quick results without giving up the bigger rewards that take time. Our next fast grower is a familiar leafy green you've probably eaten countless times: baby kale. But growing it at home is a whole different experience. When harvested young, baby kale is tender, mild, and far sweeter than the tough, fibrous leaves you see in grocery stores. What makes baby kale such a joy to grow is its speed. In just 25 to 30 days, those soft green leaves become large enough to harvest. And all you need to do is pick the outer leaves and let the inner ones keep growing. That's why gardeners call it a cut-and-come-again crop, because one planting can give you fresh greens for weeks. Baby kale grows well almost anywhere, in raised beds, pots, or even small containers on a balcony. It loves cool weather, gentle sunlight, and steady moisture. And the best part? You don't have to wait for a full head to form. The moment the leaves reach 4 to 6 inches long, they're ready for salads, stir-fries, or smoothies. If you want a leafy green that's fast, forgiving, and endlessly useful in the kitchen, baby kale is a wonderful pick. The last fast grower in our lineup is the ever-loved bok choy, especially the dwarf or baby varieties. These little plants are incredibly quick, often ready in 25 to 30 days, and their crisp stems and tender leaves make them perfect for stir-fries, soups, and salads. Bok choy grows best in cooler weather and partial sun. If you give it loose soil and steady moisture, it grows almost effortlessly. In its baby form, the entire plant can be harvested at once. Just cut it at the base, rinse, and cook. Or, if you want extended harvests, you can pick a few outer leaves at a time and let the center continue producing new growth. The flavor of baby bok choy is mild, slightly sweet, and wonderfully refreshing. And because the plant stays compact, you can fit several of them into a single pot, or grow dozens in a small raised bed. For gardeners craving something crunchy, juicy, and fast, bok choy is a fantastic final addition to your under 1 month garden. Now that you know all 8 fast-growing crops, let me share a handful of simple tricks that make them grow even faster and taste even better. These are small habits, but they make a big difference, especially when you want reliable harvests every single week. The first tip is light. Even fast growers slow down if they don't get enough sun. Aim for 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight or bright shade for delicate greens like lettuce and microgreens. If you're growing indoors, a small LED grow light works wonders. Second is moisture. Quick crops prefer consistently damp soil. Not soaked, not dry. A light watering once a day or every other day is usually enough, depending on your weather. The goal is simple. Never let the top layer completely dry out. Third is spacing. Fast-growing greens don't need much room, but crowding them too tightly can stunt their growth. Loose-leaf greens love 4 to 6 inches between plants, while microgreens do best when sown thickly in shallow trays. And last, neighbor. Harvest often. The more you pick, the more they grow back. It keeps the flavors tender, keeps the plants productive, and keeps your garden busy, even when the months are hot or cold. Neighbor. Everything we covered today comes straight from years of digging in the soil, making mistakes, learning from them, and slowly figuring out what really works in a small garden. These 8 fast-growing vegetables are the ones I rely on whenever I want quick success. The type of harvest that keeps you motivated, keeps you excited, and reminds you why growing your own food feels so good. Before you head out, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and tap that little bell. Your support doesn't just help the channel, it helps our whole gardening community grow stronger together. All right then, neighbor. Until our next garden adventure, take care, stay curious, and may your harvest always come sooner than you expect.